Angel Heart Radio programs should not be used to replace your legal or medical advice, nor your own sound judgment. Welcome to Angel Heart Radio, where we inspire you to remember your magnificence. Join the conversation on our live streams. Head on over to Angel Heart Radio on Facebook. And there's even more for you on angellight777.com.
Hello and welcome to Angel Heart Radio. I'm your host, Tebeth, today, and we're going to have a great show today. I'm going to be talking about relationships or important aspects of relationships that we all need to look at to figure out, whether something's working in our relationship or what, or whether we're wanting to attract relationships as well and get clear in our minds so we attract what we need, what's important to us. So, and I'm going to do some live readings as well. So if anyone would like a reading, I'm just getting organized here. Definitely we will be doing that as well. So please come in the chat room, and if you can leave your date, your birth date, month and year, and then that will help me tune in to you as well. But for now, I'm just going to, start talking about relationships. As I've said before, probably they're really fundamental to life on here on Earth. We're all in relationship to someone or something. And so understanding ourselves, that deep part of ourselves, will give us more to be clearer and to have what we want and be. Relationships take work no matter who we are, whether it's friendship, parents, family, friends, and intimate romantic relationships. There's all sorts of relationships. So getting clear on that will make a difference. Now, I have written out, I had to read this because there's too many. I've written out 19 points or values that are important in a relationship. So they're not in order of importance, but they're all important. And, everyone may have a challenge in different areas with different things. So first I've got trust, and then I've got respect, communication, and I've grouped this together: honesty, being authentic, and vulnerable. That's a really important component. Self-responsibility, loyalty, boundaries, very important, self-love, which really underpins everything. Appreciation, understanding, commitment, and that's to self or the other person. Where are we? Equality, of course, that's very important. Empathy, not sympathy, but empathy. Dependability, someone being there. Finances, and certainly that can be that's a challenging one at times as well. Family, and religion or belief system, that can be very that can divide people if you're not clear at the beginning. Support, whether someone has your back, and self-improvement, and lifestyle. What sort of lifestyle are you living, or do you want to live? Are you on the same page as that? So it's it's all very important. It all goes in together, and it's all makes up. And there's probably more I could talk about, but that's enough. Well, hopefully I won't get through all of them today, but I'll start with trust. Now, trust, we all want to have trust in ourselves, trust in the person that we're with. And that can start or be even damaged, you could say, at any time in life, but often in early years, and even with family or in any given situation. And so we can learn often not to trust ourselves, and that's quite sad in that respect. But it's a good challenge to learn to turn that around and learn to trust yourself. If you don't, then you won't trust others, and unfortunately that will you may push away people unwittingly when you need to bring them in. So it's important to build that trust in a relationship and keep it there, because when trust is damaged, it takes a while to get that back. So you have to ask yourself that question: do I trust myself? Do I trust the other person as well? So it's quite again, it's quite important. So thinking about that. If anyone's got any questions at all, to put them in the chat room. Yes, okay, not at this point. That's okay. Just checking. Now, respect. Respect is something, again, that one has to have for oneself. And if you don't have that for yourself, then the other person's not going to give it to you, or other people aren't going to give it to you. And it's something that can be seen even. Hi, Soen. We've got hello. How are you, Soen? If you want a reading, just give me your birth date. That would be great. Yeah, respect, self-respect. It's like an energy that goes out, and trust to be the same. If you don't trust people, unconsciously will feel that. And respect is something, if you don't respect yourself, unfortunately, we attract people who mirror that. And, it's all about law of attraction in that way. So respect is a big thing. And hi, Anaya. Yeah, so think about, do you respect yourself, and do you respect others? And that's an important aspect. It has to go both ways. And, do you feel you deserve respect? Just keep going deeper with that if you feel like you're not being respected in your relationship or friends and so forth, ask yourself that deep question. Be honest with yourself. Do I respect myself? What am I sending out there? Okay, I'll just go to Zoe and I'll do her reading for her. Whether you're feeling your, passion for life, or you feel like there needs to be a bit more in your relationship. I mean, you've come from very different backgrounds. So your different ideas about how you express yourself, how you live your life, how you see things are there. It's trying to see each other from each other's point of view to get to come to find that middle ground. I'm seeing, looking at this, you need to probably spend some quality time to maybe get that back a bit, and really communicating on that deep level of what you need and what your partner needs as well. And really make sure you're having fun to do that, because the message will get across a lot easier and be taken a lot better by having fun. And this opens your hearts, both of you, and you can say things in a different way that it's not so heavy, and just making it lighter. Certainly, any aspect that where you feel you don't deserve love, so on some level, there's something in there. Make sure you deal with that, where you feel like you're not deserving, because that will show in your relationship somehow. It's what you see, what you believe you're not getting. It may be due to you having the belief that you don't deserve it somewhere, somehow. But, there's a good energy between you both, definitely. Always have to love yourself. It's not about putting yourself first all the time, but it's about honoring and respecting your own energy and what you need as well. So, make sure you do that. But really, there's no big issue, and it's a time thing. It will get there, all right? It will get there. So just keep having fun, that good communication, that open communication, learning to do things together that you'll have fun together with, finding out what you both like. And that will help create that bond and speak from the heart to each other. Okay, hope that helps. We've got Shane. Hi, Shane. And Steph, I think I may have missed you last time. So I haven't got Shane. I haven't got a birth date for you. So I'll go to Steph. Okay. All right. So Steph, you've got you're very determined, and you've got very strong will, which is a good thing, quite creative. You and your partner is very strong in the mind, hypersensitive though, so probably needs a bit more grounding and more your partner in their body and so forth. All I would say is for you to make sure that everyone's needs are balanced. Yours are balanced. You need what you need, but also allow the person and honor what they need as well. But with your determination and will in your life, once you set your mind to something, you will do it, definitely. So I'll just do some cards. Okay. So this is yours, Steph. You and your partner, it's a soulmate relationship, definitely. Somewhere that you may feel like you are not being controlled, but you feel like you can't do what you want possibly, and you don't know how to go about doing that exactly or going about it. So it says you will get there. You will get to do what you want to do, definitely. You need to get to the bottom of what's going on between you or yourself. There's something not being spoken about. That's what I would say. But it's just getting to the bottom of it, I feel. Again, playfulness. You've got some old family issues that are probably hindering you in some way, maybe restricting you somehow in your belief system. So deal with that. Again, yes, the play thing. But yeah, you will get there. Definitely, you will get there. It's about take back control of your life, what you need to do for yourself. Definitely, and ask for help if you need it. Always ask for help, and you'll get it. Okay, I hope that helps. All right. So yes, very strong will. Your partner's very creative though. Needs to open that up more if they're not already, because that's very important, that creative expression, but very, very sensitive, and you can be a bit inward. So you need to learn to open up a bit more as well. Okay. Right, Steph. We've got Kim here. Okay, Kim, you've got the... Another very strong-willed person. And your boyfriend is... Okay. Right. So, Steph, you're very, very focused on, I think you'd be very much a doing person, getting things done, which is a good thing, but you also need to understand there may be different levels, not so much focus, physical thing, material is good, but learn to open up to other levels as well. Your partner is hypersensitive, so yeah, could be interesting. I'm just looking here. Another soulmate relationship. I don't know if you are apart at the moment, whether you're, whether there's time apart coming up for some reason, or you are apart. Talking about, very different backgrounds being brought up differently. So different ideas, and, sometimes opposites attract in that sense. You need to understand what you are looking for, what you want in a relationship. Sometimes what we need is not always what we get. So it may be just learning to work within what you've got. No, because it's saying it's a really deep relationship. So you've chosen to come together with your boyfriend to work through issues. It is a soulmate, a deep relationship. So no matter what challenges you have, keep working at it and find out what the only thing you can do is change yourself. If there's something that's not exactly what you want, whether he understands or not, it's your communication. Both of you need to work on your communication, actually. Yes, most definitely is a big thing. So communication is paramount in relationship because there can be so much misunderstanding when things aren't expressed. So I think that would be the crux of making things really good to what you want, your communication with both of you. But you can only start with yourself. Okay, so I hope that's helped. Okay, we've got Helen Dean. I didn't indicate with my beloved soulmate, but I feel, is there a good long-term partner coming? Okay, Helen, if you put your date of birth in, Helen, and that will help you tune in a little bit more to you. I'll just pull some cards. Well, Helen, I think it's there's some. Oh, okay. Thank you for your birth date there. You're a Leo. There is, but I feel there's still attachment to an ex-partner. There's some issue that still you haven't 100% let go of with an ex. So sometimes that can, just slow it down. The person is there, definitely. And maybe, it's about, you opening your heart, like whatever it is you need to forgive, whether it's yourself or the other partner for what happened, you need to sort of look on that higher level if you can, why things happen and what you're meant to learn out of it to help you grow. Because yes, the other person is out there, all right, and it's a good relationship, definitely. But just doing this extra work on one of your exes, whether it's the last one or one, you'll know which one it is. Okay. You're a bit of a doing person also. You make sure you do need sort of quiet, peaceful surroundings and take your time to go within. You possibly could burn the candle at both ends. So you have to take the time to go within to do this work. Otherwise, it will just take longer. That's all, and you don't need that. The first 30 years of marriage, right, yes, there can be a lot happening 30 years, most definitely. So do the work on yourself, and it's going to make you happier, and you're going to let go of a lot of stuff and lighten up and enjoy life more. It's letting go of the old, definitely. That will be the key. Definitely you'll be happy that you did this work, most definitely. So don't, think it's not going to happen. It is. Just keep working on yourself so you're in a better position to attract the right sort of partner, the new partner that's there. And it is a good relationship. It's a real love. You fell in love with the first man after the marriage. Okay. That's okay, but you still need to do this work on yourself no matter what. Is that man still around, that first man? If not, it's someone else. There's definitely another person out there, wherever it is. Sometimes we can go into, straight into another relationship where we haven't healed everything from all the old hurts and so forth. So it's so important to take that time to do it. That's the one you need to really okay. No, I didn't see a reading for Edith. Sorry, Edith. I will do that. Okay. So I hope that helps, Helen. Definitely. So keep going. Don't give up. Don't stop, but do the inner work and you will have what you want. Okay. Okay, Edith. Well, there is a new person out there for you. I get the feeling that they're not there at the moment, but definitely it's for you to have more fun and know that it is okay to open your heart. All right. You have to learn to trust yourself more and learn to be that vulnerability to reach out to someone, sometimes even make the first move instead of being fearful. So yeah, and have fun. Like, yeah, really lighten up with, do things in your life that make you feel good about you. So you're in a space of your heart's open and you're out there in the world. Definitely just enjoy the time, whether you're by yourself, but certainly enjoy the time with this person. Now, there is some old stuff for you to clear for yourself. Sometimes it's easy. I think we've all possibly had a codependent relationship in our lives somewhere, whether it's an intimate romantic or a friendship or family, whatever. So it's indicating that you were in or have been in that type of relationship, and you need to forgive whatever went on in that and learn to see what your part in it was. We all need to do this to move out of that, so we empower ourselves more and more. So we can all feel victimized at times. It's part of life sometimes, but then you learn to take your power back and stand up for yourself. So I feel that will be the thing. You need to take your time in meeting. Once you meet this person, take your time to get to know them. There's also some family issues to work on, and so that's probably around this possible codependency and the belief system around that. How we all get conditioned in certain beliefs and how we see ourselves. So for you, working on that and forgiving yourself and all the other people or person involved in that, but certainly a great relationship out there for you, which is good. Whether they're then I'm getting the indicating that they're not quite here at this point, but they are there. So again, for you to do this inner work, and they will show up magically. That's how it happens when you're out in life and doing your own thing and making yourself happy. That's when they turn up. Okay. So we haven't got anyone else I can see at the moment in the comments section. Just because we've had a couple of ones where forgiveness and codependency can be a part of that. Boundaries is a really important issue to understand for yourself and what other people. You can recognize it in other people, but you have to understand your own boundaries. And again, taking the time to do that will make a huge difference in any type of relationship that you have. So it's understanding when your boundaries are being, stepped over, and you need to understand when you're under other people's boundaries, because everyone's are different. And often we learn this, depending on the type of childhood you've had, you may have had your boundaries stepped over and had no power and feel that powerlessness. So starting to recognize what your boundaries are will take any codependency out of a relationship, because you take that responsibility for yourself. Very, very important. If anyone's got any questions in the chat, in the comment section on anything, that would be fine as well. I'm happy to talk about anything. And so boundaries sort of lead into self-responsibility as well. Owning your own stuff and owning what's going on and stepping back and looking at it, and that we all have a choice, and we all need to take that responsibility for whatever's going on. Sometimes they're not easy choices, but but we need to make them, and we grow so much from making these choices. Definitely. Yes, thank you, Anaya. They are different kinds, and paying attention to your own, you become more aware of other people's apart from your own. So your awareness just grows so much from that. And sometimes we get some hard lessons with it, and it takes a while for us to realize at times when you've been conditioned to believe certainly things in a different way or a particular way. Understanding what they are and actually speaking up about your boundaries sometimes can be very challenging. I know I've had that experience, and I'm sure many people have out there. It's knowing where they actually are and feeling okay about saying them. It takes courage to stand up even when you feel that other people want things to stay the same. They don't like it when you put up boundaries. It's not making anyone else wrong. It's what doesn't feel comfortable for you. And I guess that's what you can say. I don't feel comfortable with this. So you're not making the other person wrong, because they will have different boundaries to you. So an important thing, but certainly self-responsibility is part of that, and creating the change we all want in our lives, no matter who's in them and what's going on. And particularly there's so much change going on. You have to reassess, what are your boundaries? Most definitely, with everything that's going on. Yes, not honouring our boundaries, Anaya, thank you, has been a big one for Anaya in her life. So obviously, that's changed. And, today, I think boundaries are pushed more and more, no matter, whether it's in our personal lives, but also in the outer world, what's being shown to us, what's being told to us, on TV or whatever. And you have to start thinking about, what are my boundaries? What am I willing to allow in my life? And there's no right or wrong. It's just what is. So, yes. Okay, now what else have we got? Appreciation. Now, this is a really interesting one. We all want to be appreciated, every single one of us. I can't think of anyone that wouldn't want to be appreciated. And particularly in relationships, we can always, we can take for granted each other. And it's so wonderful to hear when someone says how they appreciate you for something, whatever it may be. It opens the heart so beautifully, and your day feels different. And I'm sure you've all had that experience somewhere, somehow. And I remember years ago doing with a client, her relationship with her husband totally turned around because of appreciation. She was ready and thinking seriously of leaving, splitting with her husband. And then somehow she was able to, they went to an event. And from that event, luckily they went together. That changed their whole relationship around. And it was so beautiful to hear that their children were quite shocked at the change in their relationship, how their love, both of them changed so much from this one thing of appreciating whatever it may be. You may only find a little tiny thing to be appreciative, and that's sort of linked with gratitude, with everything. But if you can appreciate your partner, find something, and of course yourself, each day, it will change your relationship for the better, most definitely. It's such a wonderful thing. I'll never forget that story, because it was such a powerful reminder to me and what can happen. She thought that it was hopeless, but it turned around totally and utterly her life and her husband's life, which is wonderful. So hello, Stacey, how are you? If you'd like a reading, Stacey, could you put your birth date in there, please, in the comment section? So yeah, that, if you appreciate your life, even let alone the partner, would be a change. It would make a difference. You would feel it, because it really opens the heart, and the heart energy is so strong. That's the strongest, most powerful force in our bodies to create change and create the what we call miracles. It's opening the heart. Okay, Stacey. Yes, it was an amazing thing, Anaid, for that to turn around, that marriage to turn around. That's why it's always stayed with me. It's such a great story. Now, the first thing I would say to you, Stacey, is it's learning to be vulnerable and reach out to people, to your partner, at least if you have one. I'm getting that you do. It's certainly valuing yourself and loving yourself is very important, but learn to reach out. Maybe you feel judged a bit. So, just loving and accepting yourself first is number one for you. And learning to express what you feel, very important. And standing up for yourself. I can see in your nature that you may you may need to stand up for yourself. And again, boundaries for you, excuse me, would be very important, and know your boundaries and learn to express them. Certainly, I would say, don't be negative if there's not a relationship there. There is actually someone that you may know. That's what I'm getting at. It's a past life relationship that is there. So trust is a thing for you to learn a bit more of, I feel, definitely. And that may be just from past in this life. And I get past life as well. There would be things that have come in. You're still working through this life to learn trust, and definitely through relationships. Maybe I think it's do a bit of inner work time by yourself to do this in a regroup and look at what needs to be happening. Getting, really, sometimes we say we want something, but there's some part of us that may not be 100% on board with that. You need to sort of really think about that and exactly what you want, what is important, what you didn't have before. And also keep an open mind. Don't have an assumption, or sometimes we assume certain things. So 9 years, yes, abusive upbringing can cause big trust issues. So that just flows on into our relationship. So getting help with that, working through these trust issues and learning to trust yourself, your feeling around things instead of from your head. You've got good intuition, so you need to learn to trust the feeling, because often when you've been through abusive stuff when you were young, you learn not to trust yourself because of what's being done, and then you could be told the opposite, so you learn to survive. Children often in abusive relationships go to their heads to learn how to survive and not trust the heart feeling, because it's very painful. So you probably need a bit more help with that. Okay, so I would say just get some help with this for yourself, and learn to trust in the heart. But yeah, learn to trust someone to go and talk to. You feel he's not there for you, and that would be coming from your, when you were growing up, no one was there for you, obviously. All I can say to you, you're distancing now, that go and get some help with this, and someone who will really get to the core issue and help you see things from a different angle. I'm not saying things are perfect in your relationship, and it is a past life relationship. It may be a karmic thing that you're working through. But it did say to be optimistic, all right? Once you can feel confident in expressing yourself and saying how you really feel, being vulnerable with this person, I'm not saying that you have to be with them, but it's about you speaking up, okay? no matter who it is, whether it's him or someone else, need to learn to open yourself up again and not shut your heart off to everything and everyone, because that will be happening, but you may not see it. That's all. Okay. So I hope I can help. That's good. I'm glad I was able to help, Stacey. Yeah, the vulnerability in relationships, no matter what sort of relationships, is such a vital thing, because you're being honest, you're being authentic, and there's nothing we have to really hide. It's only our judgment on ourselves. And when we're vulnerable with someone, usually it opens their hearts, but it opens yours. And that's the main thing, that you can be yourself. There's nothing you have to apologize for. You are who you are. We're all perfectly imperfect, and we're all the same. We all have something. So vulnerability, even though it can be challenging for all of us, it's probably one of the most important things to make a relationship work and open our hearts. So you're welcome, Stacey. Yeah, I feel it's something we're all here to learn, vulnerability and being authentic self. Because, yeah, you have nothing to apologize for, or you don't even have to justify who you are and what you feel. You are who you are. We're here to experience all these emotions and feeling and how to deal with it all. And being human is not always easy, that's for sure. I'm sure everyone would agree. So, yes, if you're listening, anyone listening today, vulnerability, honesty, authenticity, an amazing combination that can change a relationship, because people will often assume humans are geared to think the negative, unfortunately, more than the positive. So people will make assumptions when we hide things. We have this wall up. So just know how much of a wall that you may have up today. Sometimes the world doesn't feel a safe place. So you can only be honest with yourself and other people. That's all you can do. So, yes. So we've got no one else around. So what else will we go on today? Sorry, croaky voice. Empathy. Empathy and understanding. We all want to be understood. We all at times feel misunderstood, that's for sure. And empathy can create, compassion. It's not to sympathy. It's different. You don't want to look down on someone. Empathy is understanding what they feel. You feel what they feel, but you don't have to take it on. So empathy and understanding in a relationship certainly breaks down walls. And this is what we want. Opens the heart. Excuse me, I just need to have a drink. Yes, empathy and understanding. I know myself, I can only talk about myself and other people I've worked with. Sometimes a client can come in and they will seem a certain way and very sort of contained and not open. And then they start talking. And then I feel what they feel. And I understand. So you can do this with everyone, anyone, can be a stranger. If you feel a wall, if you start to have empathy and understand where they may be coming from, those barriers go. And that certainly will be in a romantic partnership. You may not understand it all, but you can have empathy. So, again, these are all super important in relationships, because we're such complex beings, human beings. Even I think men keep saying that they're quite simple, but not really. They're complex as well. They just can hide it quite well, which is a bit of a laugh at times. But yeah, it's empathy and understanding. It's what we need in this world at the moment, that's for sure. And I think you could all agree with that. And also leads on to non-judgment as well. part of that, letting go of any preconceived ideas or judgments, having empathy and understanding in your relationships will open them up even more. Okay. Has anyone else got any questions? I might do just a reading for anyone who might be listening now or listening later on when they're listening, when the show's on a podcast. I'm going to pull a card, a general reading for everyone. Okay, the first card was love yourself first. And self-love obviously underpins everything, because if you love yourself, then everything else is different. What you will attract in is very different. So absolutely self-love. So if there's something you're giving yourself a hard time about, love that part. You know, sometimes we focus on what's wrong with us all the time. And when we focus on what's wrong with us all the time, that tends to grow, and our self-worth and lack of self-love becomes greater. It's not disowning what you would like to change by any means, but it's also understanding, working with that, understanding the shadow part, but also focusing on what is actually great about you. Again, appreciation, finding something in your day that you can feel good about, no matter how big or small, it doesn't matter. How you treat yourself, that self-love, self-nurturing, being kind to yourself, not abusing your body or yourself, or, you know, if you're in abusive type of relationship, self-love is deciding that's not on anymore. You need to change that. So self-love, number one. What's come up is commitment, I guess, or like even a marriage, and that can be a sacred, you could take that as a sacred marriage, is when our masculine and feminine energies are balanced and we're whole. And we're all leading to that wholeness in life. That's actually our ultimate goal, because in spirit there is no male and female as such. It's two different energies working harmoniously together, and that's what we are here on the planet trying to do within ourselves first, and then on the outer world. So commitment to loving yourself as you are, accepting yourself as you are, I think is a major thing to do, and have that awareness all the time. Certainly you doing that for yourself has a ripple effect and effect upon your relationships. You don't even have to do anything. It's just the fact that you are doing it for yourself. Your energy changes and goes out into the world, and other people change around that, and other circumstances change around that. So definitely getting the inner child. The inner child is another vast subject, which I've done a show on before. And working with the inner child, we forget that the inner child is so important, and how it actually really dictates a lot of our choices in life. And if our inner child is still hurting or in pain or angry, that's pain as well, or has these certain beliefs, it will keep our life on a certain course. So connect with your inner child. Your inner child needs to play as well. And I think these days, with everything that's going on, trying to connect with your inner child and give it love and nourishment is so important. And if you can do that and allow that joy of your inner child to come out, that is, if you do nothing else, that is your contribution to this world. That is a great contribution, and I would encourage it for everyone, all of us, to do that. It will certainly shift the energies on the planet. Okay, so again, understanding if you're wanting a relationship out there, what it is that is important to you. What would make you happy? And people say, I just want to be happy, but what does that constitute? And in a sense, what sort of person are you looking for? It's, you can do the huge list, but it's like, what are my most important values, and the deepest values? What is important to me to make me happy? And have I had a deep heart connection before in my relationships or not? Has it been based on other things? And if so, did that work out? Did it make you happy? So find out what is your deepest needs or wants to create a happy life or a happy relationship. So the next card is, this has come up before, not feeling safe to put your heart out there. I think there wouldn't be one adult person or even child sometimes that hasn't had their heart, broken or, damaged in some way by putting themselves out there or opening up to people. It's just the way of the world sometimes, and it's a learning curve. So it's learning in a way to learn to love ourselves no matter what. So it's saying it's safe to go out there and put yourself out there, even if not everyone's going to love you and you're not going to love everyone. So it's okay. Don't take everything so personally, and just put yourself out there in ways to enjoy life, like embrace in life a lot more. And, when you do that, that certainly opens up the energy. And of course, the last card was, you'll be happy that you did this. In the end, it will make a big difference to who comes into your life. And you'll be so glad that you've made this commitment to yourself to work at what is important for you and the choices that you make and the people that you have in your life, and what you do to make yourself happy first, and be that independent being, that you're not totally reliant on someone else to make you happy. You're happy first. That is so important, to create a balanced and happy relationship that's not codependent. Very, very important. So it will be there. So I'm just going to I've got a different deck here. I thought I haven't used it before, and I'm going to pull out a couple of cards if there are anything else. It's a big deck and they're hard to shuffle. Okay. Right now, with everything that's going on the planet and the amount of change that's going on, what the cards come up is the base chakra, and that can be, a number of different things on different levels. It's sort of like stability, looking for security, and so you have to find that within yourself, no matter what circumstances is going on. And this is the challenge for us all, that we feel safe. So yes, working on that and because the card next to it is about feeling sad and isolated. So this will be happening for a lot of people on, varying degrees. So working on your own inner security and what you can do for yourself right now, as the world is important, and keeping yourself positive, obviously, and finding joy definitely is there. And the last card that came up is clarity of belief. So no matter what's going on in the world and in your own life, look at your belief system of what you think, what you're saying. And we all can catch ourselves saying things and you go, is that what I really believe? And remembering what we say, it becomes. So look at your belief system, whether it's about love or whatever's going on in the world. but particularly about love, think about what you believe. Is it really true, or is it just what you've been conditioned with? So if you find there are, limiting beliefs in there, see why it's there and what you can do to change it, because you really can. And our minds are powerful. Once we keep focusing on one thing, and it keeps us in a particular groove. So it's about opening that up to new levels, and the heart is where the great change will take place in there. Your life will change in a way that you probably hadn't thought that it could. So this time, even though you might be feeling sad, it's a time for great opportunity to create change. And, if this is in your personal life happening in that, where you're feeling stuck and you feel that way, try and, get some help, join groups, whatever it is to help you lift the way you think about life and your relationships in whatever way you can. Get support for that. So this is the way we can help each other grow in yourself. So yes. So that seems to be it today. There's no one else who has come on that would like a reading. And thank you all for coming in today. And thank you, Anaya, so much for being in the comments today and helping. Much appreciated. So appreciate you. And everyone that's there today. Hope I can help in some way. So yes, if you want to contact me at all, my website is thrivetherapies.com.au if you want a more in-depth reading or other things that I do as well. Please contact me. I'd love to hear from you. So that's it for me today. And thank you, Stacey. And thank you all again. And I will be back in 2 weeks. Not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing, but stay tuned. I will let you know. Thanks so much all. Bye for now and take care.